Hey there.
Hello there.
So in 2019, I took a trip all the way around the world. I went to 9 different countries and traveled a total of 26,000 miles. Normally when I travel, I take videos and pictures, and when I get back home, I put them all together in videos to kind of share with friends, family, and more importantly, just for kind of me to remember the trip and look back on it as I get older. But on this trip, I wanted to live in the moment, and I didn't really take any videos. I took a few pictures, and it's been some time now, and obviously with COVID, made things a little weird, but I wanted to put together at least something giving some information about the trip because it was a pretty incredible experience, and I wanted to kind of share that. So before we get started, I just want to apologize for my terrible vocabulary in using the words incredible, cool, and absolutely about 1,000,000 times.
Drop in and just smack the lip. Whoop-ah. Drop down. Snap. Ah.
After I'm done editing this video, I'm going to go out and buy a thesaurus. I could re-record all the footage, but I can't be bothered with that, so I apologize. So first I took a 9.5-hour flight from Orlando, Florida to Frankfurt, Germany. I was only in Frankfurt for about 12 hours. It was a quick layover. I didn't really do too much, just kind of walked around the city, had lunch, had a beer, and then I hopped on my next flight. After that, I took an hour-and-a-half flight over to Austria, where I was going mountain biking. The mountain biking trail there was absolutely beautiful. It was super high up. It was above the clouds, which was really cool. The trail there is a 6-mile downhill flow trail. It takes about 30 minutes to complete, and you go through about 4,000 feet of elevation change. Absolutely incredible. One of the best rides I've been on. I've been bugging all my mountain bike friends to go back one day, so hopefully I'll get to see it again. After that, I took a 2-hour flight over to Athens, Greece, where I met up with my friends Aaron, Tyler, and Billy. Hung out there for a couple days, just kind of exploring all the touristy stuff, having dinners. From there, we took a quick hour flight over to Santorini, which was kind of the purpose of the whole trip. My friends Tyler and Aaron were actually getting married there, so I was lucky enough to kind of attend that, which was absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at these photos. This is the view from where they got married. It was absolutely incredible. In Santorini, I wasn't super excited about going, and after being there, it was so beautiful. We got so lucky. The weather was incredible. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better view and scene for a wedding. After that, I said goodbye to Aaron, Tyler, and Billy, and I hopped on a 4.5-hour flight over to Dubai. Dubai was insanely hot. Unfortunately, I really couldn't do much outside during the day. It was just way too hot. I went to a water park, I went to all the malls and everything, but it was just so brutal. I couldn't really do anything outside. I did get to go to the Burj Khalifa at night, which was really cool. Went to the top and got a view of the city from up there, which was really cool. They do this cool light show at the bottom of the Burj Khalifa where they light up the actual tower, and then there's these like water, musical that goes on. It was really cool. Dubai was kind of my recouping point of the trip. I knew I had a lot more to see and do, and it was just so hot outside that I spent probably a good majority of the trip just kind of in my hotel room resting and recouping. After Dubai, I took a 6.5-hour flight over to Bangkok, Thailand. Just same thing with Frankfurt. I was only in Bangkok for about 12 hours. Didn't get to really do too much, just kind of explored the city a little bit. Got a ride on the scooters, went to the temple. Had some really cool street food, but didn't get to really see or do too terribly much just because, again, I was only there for about 12 hours. From there, though, I took a 2-hour flight over to Singapore, and man, Singapore was awesome. This photo here is probably like the best way to describe Singapore. They have incredible architecture, but mixed within, nature and, greenery. Singapore has this really cool area called the Marina Bay Sands, which is like this gigantic garden, museum, structure thing. It is absolutely nuts. There's these buildings kind of everywhere that have just these incredible gardens with really cool waterfalls and like sculptures, and it's really hard to describe. I mean, obviously you have some pictures and some videos of that, but again, I'm not a big, plant or garden person, and I was just absolutely blown away by it. And at night they do this absolutely insane light show where the whole entire garden lights up. There's music. It was just absolutely incredible. So yeah, can't say enough about Singapore. I only really have pictures of the gardens and stuff, but beyond that, the city was incredible. The food was awesome. There's tons of street vendors for different types of food. The nightlife was incredible. Lots of really cool bars and restaurants. 10 out of 10 would recommend definitely have to check it out. After Singapore, I took a 7.5 hour flight over to Sydney, Australia. Just kind of explored the city, didn't really do too much. Went to the Sydney Opera House, went to the Blue Mountains over on the west side of the city. It was pretty packed when I was there, so a lot going on, but just kind of explored, nothing really too crazy there. So after Sydney, I took a 3-hour flight over to Queenstown, New Zealand. Queenstown and New Zealand in general is just absolutely beautiful. The mountains are spectacular. The way that the cities are down in the valleys in between the mountains is just absolutely breathtaking. Queenstown is kind of known as like the adrenaline junkie part of New Zealand. So there's a lot of bungee jumping, there's a lot of paragliding, there's rock climbing, hiking. It was just such a cool experience. Obviously, a lot of the people that are there visiting are kind of all into that. So got to hang out with a lot of really cool people. One of the best places on the trip for sure. After Queenstown, I took a 14-hour flight over to LAX. Got to LAX, didn't do anything. I don't even think I left the terminal. I was exhausted. At this point, I think I'd been gone for a little bit over a month, just waiting for my layover back to Orlando. From there, took the 5-hour flight from LAX back to Orlando. And yeah, that was the end of the trip. I spent about 56 hours in airplanes, traveled 26,000 miles all the way around the world, went to 9 different countries. And it was awesome, and I can't wait to start traveling again so I can hopefully do another around the world trip. If you have any questions or anything, definitely ask away, and I'm gonna try to get some more videos edited and uploaded here from 2019 before everything went crazy. Thanks and have a good one.